We going? Yes. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That's the verse. It includes the intro is just the last line of that. Which is really, you gotta get that. Yeah, that swing, man. Here you go. You could snap doing it. That'd be cool. It'd look cool. It's a very minimal song. You don't really need a lot. But when you go, it's very delicately entered imposed upon with chords. But what I would say is just double the bass on the verse and everything. When it gets to the solos, for the guitar solo, do this. This is a really lovely, wonderful chord. It's called an E minor 6/9. So it is G, B, C sharp, and F sharp in the left hand. And then in your right hand, you've got a B octave with the E in the middle. So all chord tones. Remember, you have E minor with your 6 and then your 9. That's what the chord is. And we're doing what's called a rootless voicing in the left hand because you have your bass line. Your bass player is going to be playing that, so you don't have to play the root. You just have to play all these beautiful notes. In the right hand, the root is there, but that's more this type of voicing. This is like a common jazz type of voicing that I really love, where you get a nice, meaty, juicy, like kind of complex sound in your left hand, and then a big open sound in your right hand in the upper octave. So you get this octave and a fourth or fifth, whatever you want to think of it as, right? And it's just this really has all the goodness of the chord that you want, but then there's also this structure, this big structure. And remember, there's an E on the bottom. It's just this awesome chord. So you take this, you could invert the right hand. So you got E octave with B. You could go up. I mean, it'd be a cool thing to do in the solo anyway. When the guitar starts, you go. And you go. Only the right hand's moving. You can build a guitar solo with that as the accompanist. Now, when you go to solo, there's a couple things you can do. First, do you have recording gear so that you can record this?
Yeah, well, I have a looper now. I can just do that.
Yeah, cool. So loop, how now of
it's
you?
It's only like,
oh my God, you're so now.
I did step it up, but it's only like, it can be too short. It's not like an exact
all you
looper.
need is you need the first
I think it's long enough.
2 measures. You need 2 measures. Hit the button and loop. And then you're going, right? So when you solo, have that happening.
Yeah.
You're gonna play the same chord here in the left hand. That's fine. And just play it on the downbeat. And then there's 2 scales that you want to think about. The blues scale in E minor, right? Yeah. E minor blues scale. So let's think about a couple of licks. Like those a couple good ones. So if you just go up, if you go up, think about call and response. Like go boom. Yeah. Right? That's just going up the blues scale. Do some arpeggios. I love arpeggios in this style. So I'm doing E minor. And then something like that. A,
Mhm.
B, E. So I'm really just sort of outlining the E minor chord.
Mhm.
That's a good one. My favorite thing in this style is you got the 4 in the root, and you go up to the sharp 4, that blue note. Hate that term, but the blue note. You know, you can do that. Or also sliding always. You can do little melodies, keeping that one every time.
Yeah.
The top one, it makes it just kind of that sound. You know?
Yeah.
Just like this open chord here, just makes it bigger. More stable. So mess around with the blues scale. I mean, these kind of things, you can just kind of... It's made for you to just kind of, you can go up and down, you can stay sort of linear up and down in one little area. As long as you're swinging, you're good, you know. Little things. Simple. If you listen to a lot of this music, it just starts to come out of you. You don't have to think about it too much. Second option, second style, which will sound a lot more like you know what you're doing. Gotta go back and forth. It would be a harmonic minor scale. So a harmonic minor scale: E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D sharp,
Flat
E.
third and a flat sixth.
Yeah. And interesting to note, this chord is a 6, which has a
Which chord?
major 6. The E minor 6/9 has a major 6, but this note, technically, they don't really work. But if you just believe in it,
They don't hang there at the wrong time. Yeah, it's a question mark.
I don't know
good.
why it works.
Yeah.
But
Because
it's like a lot of
like
those
a question.
things. It's just tension. Yeah,
Yeah.
You're exactly right. E harmonic minor in this style of like jazz, blues kind of stuff. Again, you can just kind of walk up and down. It's more difficult to create melodies because, melodies intentionally, or ones that you can hear as you're playing it, because there's more notes, and it sounds like you know what you're doing more because you have to know what you're doing a little bit more. But if you just start with, don't do big jumps.
Yeah.
I'm just going up and down the scale, and it sounds fun. And if you mess around enough, you start to be able to hear the different notes. There are some very distinctive notes in this scale, such as the major 7th and the root. Like you hear the root, or do an arpeggio, right? And then hear that major 7, hear that flat 6 is a really distinctive note. So if you can memorize what those sound like, you can at least start there. You know.
I get
it. Some of my favorite stuff from that era is like very simple triad arpeggios. hard. If you check it out. So I'm
The
just taking.
timing of it seems hard.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
But if you do a little, instead of a trill, you do a. So it's a da 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 da, bum bum bum, or just ba da da dum, da 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 da. These are my inversions. It's like there's a Schubert impromptu that's really. I can't remember.
Reminiscent of that.
Yeah, it's one of those. And it goes.
Oh, good.
There it is. I can't remember what the. That's really beautiful.